Hi there everyone, happy Monday. I'm King 5 meteorologist Adam Claybon. A chilly start this morning and well, we are going to see the air mass modify here over the next couple of days, so it won't be quite as chilly, but it does show you that we do have some relief during the overnight hours. And check out this number all the way out here towards the north coast. Quileutes low this morning down to 42 degrees. Chilly start right there. 48 in Shelton, 46 in Olympia, and then we saw more of the 50s here farther to the east, closer to the I-5 corridor. We're expecting tonight not to be quite as cool, and then tomorrow, well, it's going to warm up quite a bit more too. And today we warmed up and got our way back into the 80s for highs as we started off the work week. 81 degrees for a high, 54 for that low out of the airport, and when you factor the two in, 2 degrees above, 4 degrees above, below average. Kind of a cooler than average day, but the warmer high does put us above average when it comes to that number in particular. And again, nothing out in the rain gauge, but that's something that could be changing by the middle part of the week. Some signs right now, models coming in with maybe a very small chance of a shower as we head into that period of time. So let's go ahead and show you 7-day forecast, keeping highs around more the mid 80s Tuesday and Wednesday. That chance of showers, that's going to come in on Thursday, last day of July, before it looks like things do start to dry out and we cool down too Friday and on into the weekend as we get ready to start off the month of August. Here's a look right outside here at our SchoolNet site in Granite Falls. You can see things are pretty quiet and clear as we head on here into our Monday evening. Now this is as of about 7 p.m. so things looking to be pretty decent there, as well as here in Tacoma. Again, temperatures will drop quickly, so what might feel a bit comfortable right now, if you don't have anything to cover the arms here later into the evening or the night, especially with a little bit of a breeze, you might want to have something to grab to keep yourself warm. And then looking here at Everett, at Payne Field, clear skies for us there and here in Seattle as temperatures are in the lower 80s. West winds coming in at about 6 miles per hour. We'll continue to keep more of that westerly wind here as we head on into the evening, again allowing things to cool back down all the way into the 50s. So some relief on the way when it comes to some of the warmth that we've been dealing with here, or will be dealing with here over the next couple of days, but it won't be extremely hot by any means at all. Again, speaking of the temperatures, warmer here around the Kitsap Peninsula and parts of Puget Sound, but you get from Seattle up here towards Everett, we got a little more of that westerly flow coming off of the strait, and that does work its way here through Snohomish County. So Everett, we're only sitting at 70 degrees as of about, again, the 7 p.m. hour, while the rest of us here farther south are seeing more of the 80s. Not as much of that influence coming off of the coast there, and well, all the way out towards the coast, you can see just 60s after starting off in the low 40s this morning. Quileute, we're sitting at 62 degrees right now. Here's radar, and things are quiet, and we're going to keep things pretty quiet for the time being. I did mention the chance of showers later into the week. You see that moisture farther south, eastern Oregon. Well, that will be part of some of that moisture eventually arriving as we go into the middle part of the week. What we're seeing out here is generally an area of low pressure that will continue to spin. That will also help to influence and maybe grab some of this moisture and help to influence with some of the showers and storms over the Cascades as we go later into the week. But what it's also doing is keeping us along the immediate coastline from getting too hot, and also is really keeping things from getting too out of hand with the heat, even though we are seeing the mid 80s farther east, but really not going to be dealing with anything that will be overbearing. Futurecast here as we head on into the evening tonight. Clear skies around. Again, could be seeing some more 40s on the way for tomorrow morning. Probably won't be quite as many of them as what we had this morning, though. We'll head into tomorrow. Here we are at 9 o'clock in the morning. Clear skies, plenty of sunshine expected throughout the day. Now, Tuesday might end up being our hottest day. I'm going to show you why, because you can see into the afternoon, 3 o'clock. Plenty of clear real estate here across western Washington and really across the entire state. Once we head on into tomorrow night, 8:30, you can start to see some clouds returning from off of the coast and some of that moisture trying to find its way back in here. Then at the same time, our moisture from the south, we start to see a bit more of that influence heading its way up towards us. So 6 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday, some additional clouds moving on in, and this could help to limit some of the highs heading into Wednesday. Not a whole lot of moisture, but we could kick off a few showers and storms across the eastern side of the state or across the Cascades. We'll head on into Wednesday evening, Wednesday night, and then into Thursday. And this is where I wanted to point out to you right here. A chance of showers could be rolling into the area just in time to end off the month of July. And you can see it right here, moving in from the south. Now, this is an early run of the models, and it's not really going to be a certainty that we're going to have this particular wave of rain moving in this particular area up the I-5 corridor. But it does kind of show you that the chances are there. Could be some maybe instability to go along with that. So wouldn't be surprised if we got some lightning and thunder to go along with that here as we head on into that stretch of time. But that's 9:30 in the morning. A lot of times, especially during the morning hours, hours, we don't really build up that energy enough to produce much in terms of thunderstorm activity. So maybe if it comes in at this time, we're just talking about plain old rain. But that's something to keep an eye out for. And if you are looking for rain, that's going to be your chance. And then once we continue on here, as we continue throughout the latter part of the week, that ridge of high pressure that's going to be building a little more over our area. Well, it loosens its hold. This trough of low pressure starts to exert a bit more of its influence upon us. So some of the deeper reds, well, they start to head farther south. We start to see a few more of those oranges trying to creep closer to us. And that will mean the slight cool down that we're going to see heading into the weekend will be on the way. Not a drastic one, not a big one, but we do start off with a cool down heading into Thursday with the extra clouds, and then Friday and into the weekend with highs back down in the mid to perhaps the upper 70s. Now, normal highs at 79, so we start to fall back below normal here by Thursday, and then we'll see possibly even more of a cool down into early next work week as well. But next couple of days will be your warmish / hottest days as we get up into the mid 80s. Tonight, I shouldn't see too many 40s out there, but there could be a few spots, and mainly I think it's southwest interior or maybe the north coast that we'll get to see that chance of a few 40s out there, or down this way around Thurston County, down through the Chehalis Valley, down through Lewis County. 49 degrees for your low there in Chehalis. More 50s for the rest of us here farther to the east and farther to the north. So a bit of a cool start, and then we'll get highs back up around the 80-degree mark here in Blaine and in Bellingham. And Anacortes will stay around the lower 70s. Definitely the water helping us out there as far as keeping things a bit cooler. Mount Vernon up to 82. We'll see highs in the mid 80s around Arlington and in Everett. Maltby getting up to 82 degrees. Granite Falls hitting the mid 80s at 85. Over towards the west here, closer to the water again, a bit cooler over the islands, and here closer to Linwood at 79. We'll see highs around the mid 80s in Redmond, Issaquah up to 85. Maple Valley hitting 86 degrees. Same for us here in Enumclaw. We'll hit 86 for a high in Renton. Looks like we'll top off at about 85 in Bremerton, 87 in Tacoma. Possibly, we'll see how things start to warm up here around Puyallup and in Olympia, down this way around Yelm. Closing in on the 90-degree mark. It's really going to be dependent upon all that sunshine that we see and how much we do cool down here throughout the night. But those will be the spots if we are going to get pretty warm or pretty hot tomorrow down this way. Now, as you continue farther south here, we're going to see some of the same numbers through the Chehalis Valley here, Centralia, Castle Rock, Longview. Head out towards the west here, towards the coast. You see 60s and 70s, and over the Olympic Peninsula more the same, except here closer to the whole rainforest as we get up to 84. Lake Cushman too up to 87, Shelton up to 89, and then Quilcene hitting a high of 85 degrees tomorrow. Nia Bay getting up to 63. Here's your 7-day forecast. A couple of more days of some of this heat that's going to be around, and then we'll head into the last day of July, cool down with a chance of showers moving on through, and then we'll continue to see things say more so in the 70s as we head into Friday and on through the weekend and into the start of next work week.